Hey guys, Evans here. Happy Tuesday. Super excited to talk to you about this pasta mix I'm going to make with some seafood in there, as well as talk to you about Easter. So just so you know what I'm eating, I went to Walmart. I had a minute to sneak away. I've been out of town and things like that, so I've been eating, but a little low on the veggies. I don't really like that, and a little low on variety. I don't like that much either. And Deborah, one of our trainers, say never cook anything besides chicken and rice on Cooking with Evans. So I saw this, I was like, I have to do it. So it's a seafood mix, which is really cool. 4 ounces of it is 1 grams of protein, 1 gram of carbs. I don't know where you get carbs from, but that's 2 grams of fat in it. So it's going to be awesome. So we're going to make some of this. I have some tomato sauce in here that's cooking down to make, for the pasta to stir in, as well as I just got some cheap angel hair pasta from Walmart. 2 ounces of this is 42 grams of protein. I mean, that'd be awesome, right? 42 grams of carbs. Hey, Molly. So to get my pasta to really get the depth of flavor that I want in the cooking sauce, I got some other cool, fun stuff. So one thing is bay leaves. So I'm gonna break these off. The way most seasonings work, the finer they're cut, the more flavor you get out of it. So kind of like garlic, you can take a whole garlic and put it in something and you won't get much of a garlic flavor. But the more you chop up that garlic, the more flavor you actually get in that item. So these bay leaves here, they're nice and fresh, they have good flavor in it. But because I want to cook this in a shorter period of time, I'm going to chop it up some more and get nice, little chunks of it. You can also tear it just the same way to pull out that flavor profile. So I'll throw my bay leaves in. I'm also going to cut this lemon and put half of the lemon squeezed in here as well to get that canned tomato sauce flavor out. So I do have to account for it because I'm eating it. So is the mixed food frozen? In the frozen section, it absolutely is. It's right next to like the salmon and the shrimp, cod. They have like a bunch of different frozen fish right now. So I guess it's good fishing season. But that it's in there. It has calamari, just so you know it's in there. It has calamari, shrimp, mussels, octopus, and some imitation crab meat. I guess that's where you get that that gram of carbs in there is from the crab meat, imitation crab meat. But I use this Hunt's. We normally use Dana, she likes to use this one. The same thing, the Hunt's, no salt added, no sugar added, just tomato puree. But I'm using this one in the can. And the reason why I'm using this one in the can is just because it was cheaper, to be honest. And I knew I was going to use all of it, so I was like, why save 80 cents? But we have this just for cooking later on. My daughter loves making making pasta and things like that. So also, before you cut your lemon, a great way to get the juice out first is squeeze it while you can before you cut it. And that allows you to get it nice and soft. Therefore, when you cut it, you want that to happen. You don't want to squeeze as hard as I just did. How you doing, Ryan and Deneen? So you cut through, and it's super juicy. And then I'm just going to squeeze some of that into my tomato sauce, just to cut out some of that metallic flavor you get. But I have it cooking down to do that. So I just want to show you how to weigh pasta before we transition to how we prep for Easter. Is we have to dry weigh it. So here's my food scale. So you take your food scale, whatever you're going to use. So I'm going to use my prepping sheet. I haven't put anything really on except for greens. Then you turn it on, and that zeroes out the scale. I'm actually going to do a video later on so you can actually see the scale, how you can add multiple things to it and constantly reset without putting something on the scale. So now it's zeroed out, and then I weigh out 2 ounces of pasta. And, it's a good amount of pasta, so let's assume this is 2 ounces. Let's see what happens when we put this much pasta on the scale. And that's 3.2 ounces. So Evans is no good at eyeballing either. So put that much back, and we're still at 2.3 ounces of pasta in there. So boom, on the button, 2 ounces of pasta. So it's still a good amount of pasta if you look at it. That's still a good amount of pasta, and I'll cook up, pretty nice. So I already have some boiling water here with a little bit of salt in it, and I'll put the pasta in there. Now I know this is like, you're not supposed to break pasta and all that kind of stuff, but I am boiling it in a very small pot, so it gets broken in this cooking video. So boom. So now that's cooking. It's going to take about almost 10 minutes for that to get to the al dente that we like. In the interim, I'm going to chop up some of these. These are really nice, beautiful scallion. I went to Produce Junction, so I'll go to Walmart to get, a lot of my things, but when you go to Produce Junction, you save so much money. So thank you, Molly. She says I always break it as well. But you save so much money going to Produce Junction for the volume that you actually get. So I figure, why not go there and get my vegetables there. Just be prepared, if you do go, to carry cash with you, so you can expedite through the line quickly, because they don't take credit cards in there. For those that use EBT, they do take EBT, but they don't take credit cards. So I just make sure you carry, I'd say $20 or $40, and you can get a good amount of veggies in there. So these are nice and cut up. We'll stow that into our sauce, and then we're gonna have to season our sauce to do on good flavor. So one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the sauce separate. I'm gonna cook down the seafood separate, and then I'm gonna combine everything to my delight. And this allows me to, get what I want, from it, and control the amount of sauce that I actually have. So I'll mix it all together in one container. So I'm cooking the sauce now like on a medium heat. I don't want it to like boil and create a mess, but I do want it to cook through and get that flavor in there. So what are we going to put in there? Now we know we're working with seafood, so Old Bay is always safe. So we throw some Old Bay seasoning in my sauce. I'm like, Old Bay in tomato sauce? Yep, it's going to come up delicious, because we're combining the seafood and pasta. There's no salt added, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Everybody does according to their deal. And then I'm also going to add some adobo. It's like it's a traditional Spanish thing, but it has in it like a combination of already a little bit of salt, garlic, turmeric, black pepper, and oregano. So it's just a great blend. So I'll throw some adobo in there. I'm actually going to season my pasta with it as well, and I'll throw a little bit more garlic in there, because I do like that traditional Italian garlicky pasta stuff. So when you're cooking pasta, you make sure you stir it so it doesn't stick to one another. So I give it one good stir, and she's cooking down well. So the long portion of this is this tomato sauce deal here, and I'm just looking for it to heat up and create good flavor. So let's test it out a little bit before I add some black pepper into it. Now, initially, when you first start cooking, it's okay that you don't have a lot of flavor, and I think I talked about this before. Still tastes like okay, the flavor's beginning to develop in there. But if you have too much flavor in the initial portion, when it actually cooks all the way down, you're going to be upset, because it'll be too spicy and things like that. So just turn down the water a little bit so it doesn't boil over with my pasta back there. So now let's work on the seafood. Before I even get the seafood in there, let's turn on the pan, get that pan nice and warm, and throw some peppers in. So Easter is coming up, is this weekend. What do? You want to stay on your meal plan. One of the most important things to do is to eat your proper meal plan prior to Easter. So the day before Easter, still follow your meal plan. But then on Easter, if you're going to go out to eat, realize your family is more important than like hitting all your numbers. Now, if I'm competing for like a bodybuilding show or something like that, or I have a certain event that I need to get to, maybe under 6 weeks out to that event, I have to look a certain way, every single day counts. But if I'm competing for life, then I don't have to stress out with these random events, that happen, throughout the year. Easter comes once a year, my birthday comes once a year, my anniversary comes once a year, so I can use wisdom. I'm just checking this pasta real quick. It's already cooked. Angel hair cooks really fast. So I'm going to turn that off and take it off the heat, because I don't want to overcook it, because I'm going to stir it into the pan when we have that up and going. So the idea is you block out a 3-hour window. So one of the things we teach our clients is For some clients, we do what's called a refeed. Basically, your metabolism always wants to adjust down to whatever calories you're consuming. Well, in order to lose weight, you have to consume less calories than you're actually burning, right? But you don't want your metabolism to adjust down to this low caloric amount, because then you plateau and you get frustrated. So how we help you overcome that is, typically for some people, we do like one day where you have a higher calorie day. So you have like lower calories and then higher calories and lower calories, and then your metabolism kind of just speeds up to try to handle the spike, because it doesn't want you to have lower calories. So that's what we do with some people. And then for others, we give them a free day, or not a free day, I'm sorry, a free meal or a free 3-hour window. So the thought process with the free meal is, hey, I'm going to talk about pizza, but let's say I'm going to have a slice of pizza or 2 slices of pizza tonight. Well, I follow my meal plan the rest of the week, and then tonight I have 2 slices of pizza, and that's my free meal. Now, I don't have half of a pizza pie, because that's not going to be a free meal. That's like 2 free meals, so I just do, something extra. I want to go out and eat with my wife. I want to have whatever I want. I do that free meal. Other times, if let's say I go 2 weeks without a free meal, and I'm losing weight, and I'm 80% or greater compliant, then I can take a 3-hour window and eat whatever I want. It's important that I keep it within that 3-hour window, because it's very easy to get calories high. Give you an example. We went to Washington, D.C., or the National Harbor Resort area this weekend with the kids, and had a couple business meetings out there. And when we, this is like the wrong tool. Hold on. I'm like taking forever to cut these veggies. So there we go. So we went down, and on the way back, we said, oh, we need to grab something to eat. The kids were hungry. So there was this grass-fed organic beef burger joint. It just sounds so good. So we went there, and when we got there inside, one burger was like 570 calories. And my son was like, what's in the burger? I mean, it was a cheeseburger with 2 patties. It wasn't even all of 6 or 8 ounces of meat. But the meat to fat ratio had to be like low. It had to be like 75, 25 or something like that for it to be so high in calories. But so that was just, the burger was 570, plus the fries were 270 something calories as well. When we calculated out, it was close to 1,000 calories, and we didn't, without something to drink. So it's very easy to consume 3,000 calories eating out. And we're not talking about eating large quantities of food. It's just that, remember, restaurants are cooking for your palate, not for your health. So if you go to Easter, typically your family's cooking things, and if you have family recipes, they're not normally the healthiest recipes. So you say, hey, this 3-hour window, I'm going to eat, what I want to eat, and then I go right back to my meal plan. Now, most people eat Easter meals around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So what do you do for the rest of the day? Well, for breakfast, you eat your morning snack, you take your 3-hour window, and then you follow satiety cues. Meaning, if you're hungry, you eat one of those meals that you have left in the day. If you're not, you don't. But you don't want to stress yourself out about eating all the food in your meal plan, because you already consumed more calories than your day needs anyway. So hopefully that makes sense. You don't want to stress yourself out about, I got to get all these other meals in. No, if you're not hungry, you don't eat anything else for the rest of the day. You're not obligated in either direction. So that's kind of like the mindset. And then things that I use to help me is, when I'm going to do that, I always have carb blocker with me, because most of the time when my family is cooking extra delights, it's not, let's go grab a steak, When my family's doing extra delights, it's carbs, for the most part. So I want to block those carbs, even though I want to enjoy myself. I want to block those carbs in my meal planning. So I have a ton of peppers in here, and I don't want to crowd my pan, so I'm actually going to get rid of half of them and just make another half for Dana to eat. Because right now this is my food. There we go. So I got some in here. Give me my peppers delight, but I don't want to. If your pan is too crowded, I know I just switched topics, but if your pan is too crowded, your food doesn't get cooked, you know, the way you like it in the time frame you want it cooked. So, so you follow satiety cues, but I use Slimetry in that day. I'll take my glucose health to help normalize my blood sugar, but I really take carb blocker, 3 carb blocker prior to my 3-hour window, and then I just enjoy myself, and then after my 3-hour window, I go right back to my meal planning. You know, and if you do that the day after Easter, your weight goes up a little bit. Time to get the seafood in the bowl, in the pan. The day after Easter, your weight goes up a little bit, but then it comes right back down. So you won't even have 3 days, forgive me, of elevated weight. Really important things though is that you have to go back to drinking all the fluid that you normally drink, because a lot of your weight gain is going to be water retention. So your body's going to be retaining fluid because there's extra carbs in your diet. So you just go right back to your meal plan the next day, and you should be fine. So you look at the scale like, oh man, my weight's up, but it's only up for about 2 or 3 days, and then it comes right back down. For most people, to be very honest, all the people who follow this during Christmas and Thanksgiving last year, they actually lost weight. You know, so 2 days later, they actually went lower in their weight. Sometimes even the next day their weight was lower, just because their metabolism was revved up a lot higher. So just so you know, again, I have my 2 ounces of pasta, which gives me 42 grams of carbs. I have I'm going to do 8 ounces of seafood, because it's that'll be 42 grams of protein, and I just like seafood. So I'm going to put that in here. It's 5, 6, 6.7, 8.5, 8.0 on the button. So there's a whole bowl. Oh, I love the smell of seafood. So this whole bowl here is seafood. Get that nice little, that always just looks good on the shelf. The seafood's gonna cook down really, really quick. I'm gonna stir it in here. I just love the flavor of it, so I just want it to cook. Of course, most of these seafood items you can actually eat raw, but we're gonna cook it a little bit in here, and then the heat from the pasta is going to really finish cooking it out all the way. So I don't want to overcook them, but I definitely want to stir them in there. And the only thing I'm going to add to this here is a little bit of the obey seasoning in here, because I really want to get that nice obey seasoning on here, which is so awesome. So I just wanted you guys to show that. So the idea, follow your meal plan, take your carb blocker. For some people, maybe exercise the morning of, but honestly, unless I wake up early, I'm not exercising the morning of, because I got to go to church and everything else. And it's not that big of a deal. Your weight will go up, but it'll come right back down, so you don't want to overly stress out about it. I only got 1 piece of calamari in this whole little 8 ounces that I'm consuming. The crazy thing is that you measure your seafood like this. Every time you have the opportunity to measure something like, how do you say it, like raw, that's a good idea if you're cooking like individual portions like I am now, because once I combine it all together, there's no way to know, okay, this was this was that. So I actually cooked all 3 components separately, and then I'll add them together to create the medley that I want. Now, because it's frozen, I had all this extra fluid. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't think that's going to work. So I have all this extra fluid in here, and I don't want that. So I'm going to let it cook out. But before my food cooks too much, then what I'll do is I'll just pour it out, on the side. But it creates that, fishy flavor, or that scent of all these, shellfish items. So just wanted to show you guys that. So if you duplicate this, you don't go in and just add it in there. You definitely want this pan to be close to dry, cooked, or you don't want all this extra sauce, because you're adding sauce, and then it's just like soupy, and that's not the intention we're going after. So we got it on good heat, but it's definitely not going to cook it all out. So funny, all my big pieces now are nice and tiny. It's just the way it works when you go cook with frozen things. Same thing with fish or all those kind of things. Now, when I cook my salmon, I'll cook a ton of salmon and I'll just measure it all after I cook it. So it really doesn't make a big difference whether you cook raw or measure raw or cooked. You just want to be consistent in your measuring type. So let's just taste this. And it is cooked. It dropped out of my mouth. So I'm going to pour this off and then let's combine it all and see what it looks like. Oh, it actually tastes really good. So you just got to pour out some of this liquid in here because we're going for a pasta deal in there. So it's nice and poured out. This is pretty just by itself, you know, so this would be great on top of some rice here. Ton of protein and easy to consume from a palate standpoint because this is like nothingness. I bet you if I weighed this, it wouldn't even come up to 6 ounces. But so I have that. Now let's grab our pasta. I know you guys thought I was going to use my fingers like I normally do, but I'm not going to. So it's quite a bit of pasta you got to put in here. And I still have the fire on under this because I still want to cook it all down. I want to get all the extra water off as possible. So 2 ounces does make quite a bit of pasta. Now what's the equivalent? If you say, hey Evans, you know, I have a cup of rice in my meal plan, well, how does that relate to pasta? Well, a cup of rice and 2 ounces of pasta is typically the same amount of carbohydrates. So, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, I can't eat pasta. Pasta is bad. Pasta is not bad. You know, you just got to control the quantity. And if you just look, I'm going to flip the screen again. For you to see, that's quite a bit of pasta that I get in my little medley stir fry deal, which is really, really cool. You know, so, sorry, I'm there looking at the thing instead of the camera. But you do get quite a bit of pasta in here, and then I still have to add in my tomato sauce. So let's switch that in there, and then we are good to go. So again, variety, understand your body, doesn't care if it's pasta. So a low carb way to do this would be to we'll cut out the pasta, correct, you absolutely can do that. And so you wouldn't have too many carbs. And then, you know, like Quest makes a calorie-free pasta, you know. I've heard it tastes really good. Quest Nutrition makes that. But then also you can do spaghetti squash because you can get that similar consistency with the spaghetti squash. But yeah, if you needed to cut your carbs, I'll take something like this and maybe put it inside of a wrap or just eat it like this with some vegetables to get it in there. So now you definitely need to turn your fire down, or right now you can just turn the fire off because that's hot and this is hot, and then now I need a measuring cup for my tomato sauce. So I'll take this one as a 1/3 of a cup measuring cup. Definitely want to get my beautiful, and I'll just add this in here and stir that bad boy together. I'm going to show you what it looks like on a plate. So I got to take this off the heat, meaning just on the stove alone is so hot that it's still cooking, and I don't want that stickiness. So I'll put this up here. I'm going to grab a plate so you guys can see what this looks like on a plate. So I wonder if I switch this direction, you could just see the plate. Yeah, you can see the plate. And here we go. You know, I want every single nook and cranny of this thing. So nice, you get a nice pasta medley. Again, if you need half this amount, you can easily do, you know, half the amount of pasta that I used, and it's still a good amount of food in here. I was just cleaning the thing here for you. The flavor profile is super delicious. And just so you can see, you know, the consumption of it. Look at this. You get a nice piece, and this is really great for people who like pasta or like imitation crab meat. Outside the imitation crab meat, everything else is just real deal. That's pretty good. You gotta, you know, the worst thing to do is burn your mouth on TV or on Facebook Live. It's like, ouch. You know, so Thorough. It is hot, so let it cool down. But the flavor profile works really, really good. So hopefully that's something that you guys can use as a way to do that, but a technique you can use. And I'm telling you, it's quite a bit of food. So it definitely hits all the variables you want to hit when it comes to getting a good amount of quantity, hitting your satiety cues, and everything else. So talk to you guys soon. We'll have a great Easter. Don't overly stress. Take your carb blockers. Enjoy your time. And go right back to your meal plan.